Bouanga for 90 minutes. He's going to find moments in the game where he's going to hurt you. You just hope that those positions on the field where he's receiving the ball are in areas where we can try to force him to play square and backwards and give up the ball. But again, in the biggest games, the best players have to be the best players. And we think we have some really tough weapons that they have to worry about as well. So it's going to be a really great game. There's no one thing that I can sit here and tell you guys that's going to make us win, because it's a game of mistakes. It's a game of, being disciplined and executing what you did all season to get you here. Hopefully we can do that.
We're going to stay on the left side of the room.
Hey, Jim. Peter Andrews, Philly Soccer Page. So Allie doesn't go tomorrow. Likely Jack McGlynn, who's had some big moments in the playoffs this season and all season. What has his development been like this season? How have you seen him grow from preseason to where he might be starting MLS Cup tomorrow? Yeah,
look, with all young players, and I say this quite a bit, there's no such thing as too young or too old. There's only good and bad in this game. And I really believe that. And Jack's a really, really talented player. So if we decide to go with him from the start, we have full confidence that he can do the job. Incredible soccer player, and can play a final pass, as you guys have seen. Has played in some big pressure games already for a young kid, has taken a penalty in a big playoff game and scored it. So I don't worry about his confidence. I don't worry about his nerves. Do we have to maybe tweak things? If Alejandro's unable to go, do we have to maybe have Leon slide a little bit more and be a second six and protect a little bit? Of course, that's natural. So we have a game plan in place for either of them starting. There's even the possibility of being a little more defensive with a Matt Real who could do it. You know what I mean? So it depends how we want the first 15 minutes of the game to go and what messages we want to send to ourselves and LAFC. So we'll make a decision here, but we're comfortable with all those scenarios that we just discussed.
We're going to have time for 2 more questions for Jim. We're going to go with Carlos and then Larry.
Hello, Jim. Congratulations.
Hello.
Carlos Suarez from Televen.
Thank you.
You talk about Jose Martinez.
Yeah.
How do you describe the impact of this kid in the team, the work fit that? Thank you.
Yeah, you can see I smile when you say his name because he's a kid who came from Venezuela. I won't go too long because I could talk for an hour on Jose. But look, Jose came to this club, as a not a big signing or a big recruit, but through his heart and his passion during the pandemic, he went away to Miami and had some relatives down there. And when he first came, he wasn't fit. It was a new league. It was culture shock. It was chaos and craziness. He saw and adapted to the league. Then we had to shut down for the pandemic. So he went away for 2 to 3 months down to Miami, and he came back and it was like a different human being. Like it was a killer. It was a guy that was in such good shape. And it's so funny how simple sometimes this game can be. I said, "Hey man, what did you do down in Miami?" And he stone-faced looked at me and he said, "I ran on the beach. I ran every day." And he came back and was so much more fit than everybody else on our team that his level accelerated so fast. And then you guys see the warrior on the field that he is and the defensive presence that he brings. And sometimes those right on the edge of a red card all the time tackles. But you need that in a team. He represents, I think, what we're about. I think he represents the city of Philadelphia very well. He's beloved by our fans and a player that maybe didn't get the big accolades in the season, probably deserved them. Maybe some people that vote, other players don't like to vote for Jose because they don't like to play against Jose. I think that's the reality of life. But for me, that's the ultimate compliment. Back to the first question. LA said they didn't, we're a difficult opponent, right? And that's what we want to be. That's the ultimate compliment. So Jose is an incredible player, can play for me, I think, in any league in the world. I think his talent is that high, and he's a winner. And he wants to win more than anybody. So I'm very happy to talk about Jose, and I'm glad you singled him out.
Our last question is going to come right down here. Larry Henry.
Hey, Jim. Larry Henry, SBS Soccer. Congrats.
Daniel Gazdag had some rough moments when he first came into MLS. It was a new league. He was coming off an injury with Hungary. And then this year has just kind of exploded into a new player, huge production. What's impressed you most about him and his jump from 2021 to 2022? Yeah, look, I love this league because there's a million different ways that clubs can do it, right? You can do it. You can build your team a ton of different ways.
Daniel came into our group having played 50 games in a relegation battle in Hungary and played with his national team. So it takes time. Like, people don't understand sometimes new cultures, new cities, bringing your family. Sometimes it's maybe a newborn child as well that you're getting used to and navigating. These guys are people, right? They live every day. They have highs and they have lows. They're not superheroes. So he took a little bit of time. But then once you saw a kid that understood how he wanted to play, understood that if he defended well, it would lead to all the attacking chances that he gets. And then, 20 plus goals later and double digit assists later, he's arguably an MVP type of player in this league. So humble, great kid, works so hard, is kind of that guy that we need to put on the ball a lot tomorrow, as much as possible. Eli Sanchez in there does a great job, but we have to try to find ways to get Daniel on the ball in that center part of the field. I think that'll be a real key. And if you see Daniel on the ball a lot tomorrow, I think you'll see us have success. If we can't get him on the ball, it's going to be difficult for us to create.
Thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. That was fun.